Hiya today. Now, I thought about color and I'm still on this beautiful sky streak. So we'll be painting and we want to work with the silhouettes of the Maasai and everything beautiful about them. So we want to play around with the skies and watercolors. Come on, let's see how this is done. Come on, let's see. So let's play with warm colors. Warm colors are those colors that tell you, those colors that remind you about the sun or fire or a candle. So think about those colors as we are starting, all right? So I'm going to start with red. I'd dropped some water on my red just to make it a little wet, all right, and make it easy for my brush to work. I'm using a really big brush. You can use a small brush if you want. I like using this big one because it covers a really big surface area fast. Okay, so I started with red. I'll keep touching white because, not white, water. I'll keep touching water because these are watercolors, so I want it to spread really well. Then I'll be touching some vermilion. Vermilion is just a darker version of orange. Some people like to call it red orange. All right, and then I'll touch this other really bright orange right there. It's already beautiful, don't you think so? Yeah, and I'll move on with this until maybe somewhere middle around there, and then I think it's time to get some. So I'm using amber or dark orange or dark yellow, yeah, and then finally, just to tie everything around, as you can see, this is a sunsetty color and I want to use this amber on my brush to just help me create a line. Then I'll be using this really bright yellow to tie everything in. See that? And just to make everything nice and bright. See that? Okay, now because these are watercolors, you'll find that your paper starts to crease, and that's okay, don't worry about it. All right, so the yellow that's on my brush is just helping me to highlight everything. You can darken this a bit if you want, just to get some cloud effect, and it's okay if it's not really smooth, don't worry about it. Just make it a point to have fun, because once you have fun, you won't feel too much stress that this didn't fit, this didn't work well. Don't worry about it, all right? So even the sky is never too serious if you look at it carefully, all right? So we are done with the sky. Now I've drawn some line using my yellow because I want to do something at the bottom. I'd like to make some ground on it. I mentioned earlier that we will be creating a silhouette. So I'm making a little bit of black, mixing it with my brown, and then just painting it on this level. All right, so this will be our ground. Don't think too hard about it, it's just brown and a bit of black. Okay, and there you go. There is a background for this silhouette drawing. Now I know some of you might have seen the Maasai playing in sunset, or not really playing but dancing and singing, and they are really well adorned. I find them really fascinating because these are all handmade crafts, and we're going to try to depict that in our drawing today. Okay, so I've done some earlier which I'd like to show you. There's this one that I've done earlier and it's now really light and it's very dry, and that's what we will continue with in the next step. All right, so let me put this aside. And I enjoy doing what we like to call mixed media drawing. So because the background was painted, I want to do the next bit with oil pastels. So let's do this. Very simple. I promise you will have so much fun. Okay, so I like to start with a tree. I'll draw a nice straight line till there. Let me get a darker pencil so that you can see. Okay, so I'm going to start with a line till there, and then I take another line. See that? Okay, this just will help with our background work. All right, then you can take this out a little bit. Okay, then you do this again. See that? Now I like to make something like a V, like a really wide V. See that? This just helps us to get the branches. Okay, it's not a serious one. You can add some branches if you want, like that. So that makes this V here, and then we make another branch right there, and this will give us another branch out. See, like that. Very simple. Okay, I'm going to leave this like that because I'm going to color this in much later. Alright, so time to draw the Maasais. They have inspired this drawing. So I'm going to start with a circle. Now this is abstract. Abstract meaning it's not very real. I'll start with a circle there, and then I'll do some straight line, 2 straight lines there. Alright, and I'm going to do a rectangle all the way till here, and it does not have to be perfect. If it's tilted, hey, remember I always say have fun first, don't worry too much. Alright, so ignore these mistakes because I know we are going to make it, and don't worry too much. I'm going to draw the legs, 2 straight lines like that, and a line out and a line out. Now, of course this Maasai is not just standing there looking all so boring, so what I'll do, I'll draw a line out like that, another line out there. You could say I'm making a stick man, but hey, this is my drawing, do what makes you happy. Another line, and then this one could probably be holding on to one of those really long stuff, so I want to draw a line that we can reach. So see that it's a nice long line. This line will represent like a spear of sorts, so you can draw a curved line just joining these two. And guess what, we are done. I want to draw one more. This guy shouldn't look this lonely, so I'm going to draw another one just so that you repeat this and then you're able to remember. Alright, so I draw 2 lines like that, then another rectangle like that, okay, then 2 lines. But this time around I don't want this man to just stand there, so I'm going to do like a curvy line, the guy bending his knee, touching onto the ankle, and back like that. And then we can have this line just going straight, wondering why this man's standing like that. This guy is just holding his arms akimbo, and there we go. Simple, isn't it? So they're having a conversation, probably finding out, so what are we going to do today? All right, so it's daybreak, so everything else is going to be mostly black. So I'm using oil pastels today to just color in everything. So I'll start with a tree, very simple, coloring in. And I'll leave some streaks of yellow showing in the background just to help this to color and just see how this is blended. See that? And you can, this is where you add some more branches like that, don't worry. Yeah, so I'll leave some lines and lights showing through because it's important. All right, and probably just do some few wiggles of branches. See, I'm just moving my hands this way. Okay, this will just help me to get the different textured lines that will help me get a nice shadow for this Maasai man. I wonder what they're talking about. And not to worry. Yeah, there you go. Very simple. I told you it's really simple. Yeah, and it can be see-through. Right, now time to draw the faces. So I'm coloring in all that. Okay, and I'll color in the neck, I'll color in the arms, yeah, that's 2, and the legs as well. I'll do the same of this hand and this and that, and this nice straight hand probably is telling him what's up, man. All right, so there and there, and we color in his eyes, not his eyes, his head. Let the party begin. I tell you, the party. So of course the Maasai robes are red, very red, I tell you. Okay, so we color in this. See that? Told you it's okay to make a mistake. When you color it in, everything gets okay. It helps us with the texture, and we're not too serious. Remember, we are learning to do these simple things. See that? We already got our texture from the mistake. How simple is that? Yeah, and then we do this other one like that. Okay, here's the other bit, and you color it in. So it's okay if your red touches some black. That's very much okay, because why? Because we have some amazing textures that are created. We can even make a knot here just to show where the fold of the clothing will be. I think I'll make another knot there now that they are silhouetted like that. And then we want to have more fun with the patterns on the Maasai cloth. It's called a shuka. If you've never known, the name of the Maasai cloth is a shuka. So my pastel is breaking. Have fun, guys. Don't feel bad when you pastel breaks. Don't feel so bad. All right, so I've drawn some lines. I'll do some other vertical lines, like 2 on each side. And then I'd like to take some light blue. I'm going to tear this paper off so that we have room. Then I'll draw some lines across, some light blue across, like that. See, we're already creating that amazing checkered pattern, and the black in there already gave us an idea. See, how cool is that? Now time to give our Maasai some amazing jewelry. So we're going to draw some lines across. I'll start with different colors. I probably want to put green here across their neck, and I want to put some dark blue, and then we'll put the same on this side. Green, some orange. I should put some white just for good measure. Right? If you've been working with oil pastels, you'll notice you have to keep tearing off the paper. So don't feel like my pastels are getting messed up. Don't worry. Then they always have some bangles. We don't call them bracelets. These are bangles. Then some orange ones on this side. For this gentleman on that side as well. Probably want this kind of orange. Yeah? And on the legs too. Yeah? So some lines across. See how simple this is? You could do this with any color. Did you know you can even use pink? Nothing is stopping you. This is where the fun is. Told you this would be a party. Yeah? And boys and girls and grown-ups and parents. We are done. How cool is that? My name is Agnes. Always sign your work. Alright? And we can put some shadows. Now this is what happens. You almost want to put continue, but this is basically done. See that? It's done. It is done. And I love my piece of work. I hope you do too. So see you next time. Bye.